This is your Egalitarian AF Truth Report for December 8th, 2025. We're here to share headlines from all around the world, stories exposing violence, displacement, and government actions shaping life for millions. We don't trust mainstream media, which is why we are here to stand on truth. Let's get into it. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett has officially announced her run for the U.S. Senate, and many people in Black communities see her as a rising star, someone outspoken, sharp, and politically active. But here's the truth that often gets hidden. Jasmine Crockett is publicly pro Israel, and in 2025, that isn't a neutral position. Supporting the occupiers of Palestine means supporting a system of apartheid, forced displacement, and mass civilian harm. All realities documented by global human rights groups for years. For Black people in the United States, this matters deeply. Our history is rooted in resistant state violence, segregation, surveillance, and militarized control. We know what it means to live under systems that weaponize the law, the military, and the media against us. When a Black politician aligns with a foreign government practicing these same forms of domination, it becomes a contradiction because you cannot be pro Black liberation while supporting the subjugation of another oppressed people. The connection between Black struggle and Palestinian struggle is not symbolic, it's historical. From Ferguson to Gaza, activists and scholars have documented shared tactics, military training exchanges, crowd control weapons, facial recognition surveillance, and counterinsurgency strategies used both abroad and in U.S. cities. That means domestic and international oppression are materially linked. So when a Black politician supports that system, they are effectively endorsing the same infrastructure of control that harms Black communities at home. Representation alone does not equal liberation. A Black face in a position of power means nothing if the policies they support reinforce state violence against other marginalized groups. So as Jasmine Crockett enters a Senate race, it's crucial for voters, especially Black voters, to understand that being pro-Israel in 2025 means aligning with a government responsible for mass civilian casualties, forced displacement, and ongoing humanitarian crisis. And if you stand for global freedom, you cannot selectively apply it. Solidarity means all oppressed people, not selective liberation. Reports confirm the FBI is developing a new list of American extremists, expanding its internal monitoring categories. Civil liberties groups warn that vague definitions risk sweeping in protest movements, journalists, and political organizers. Surveillance frameworks broaden fastest during periods of unrest. When classification replaces evidence, civil rights become discretionary. There's more to come. A new U.S. defense bill would fill weapons gaps for the occupiers of Palestine created by international embargo pressure, according to congressional summaries. The measure fast tracks military supply lines despite growing diplomatic opposition. Weapons policy is not theoretical, it shapes conditions on the ground immediately. Congressional spending choices become battlefield consequences. Free Palestine. Israeli forces continued large-scale raids across the occupied West Bank, entering multiple towns overnight and conducting mass detentions. Local medical groups reported injuries during confrontations as homes were searched block by block. These raids have become a near daily reality for communities living under military control. When an entire civilian population is subjected to repeated armed incursions, daily life becomes a security operation, an operation that is caused by the occupiers of Palestine, an apartheid government, Israel, and the US. Free Palestine. Israeli forces also reportedly raided a United Nations compound in Jerusalem, triggering concern for international officials responsible for civilian coordination and humanitarian access. UN facilities are protected under international agreements meant to ensure neutrality and safety. When neutral spaces are entered by force, humanitarian protections lose their meaning. But let's be clear, the UN really serves no purpose because they've allowed the genocide to go on and all these other oppressed areas to continue to be oppressed. Shame on the UN. And again, free Palestine. In Sudan, an RSF drone strike reportedly killed 116 people, including 46 children, according to medical sources in the region. The strike hit a densely populated civilian area as fighting continues to spread. Doctors say hospitals are overwhelmed with limited power, supplies, and staff. When children become mass casualties, it signals total collapse of civilian protections. But this has been this way, and this is caused by the UAE and Israel. Free Sudan. In the Democratic Republic of the Congo, hundreds of civilians fled renewed fighting within hours of a U.S.-backed peace deal ceremony tied to Trump's diplomatic engagement. Local groups report families moving on foot with no access to shelter or aid. The timing exposes the gap between political announcements and reality on the ground. Peace declared without security on the ground leaves people trapped between armies. But this was all, for show anyway. And if the U.S. is involved, then Congo will not be free. Congo is still being oppressed. Free the Congo. These stories show how war, displacement, policy decisions, and militarized systems impact families, communities, and entire nations. Your awareness helps to challenge silence and uplift those living through these crises. Silence is complicity. We must take action. Speak out. Free Palestine, free Sudan, free Yemen, free Congo, free all oppressed people. This is your Egalitarian AF Truth Report. Stay loud, stay aligned, stay egalitarian AF. And follow us on these social media platforms, please and thank you.